Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. Um, Happy New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, wherever you're at. Hopefully, our new year will be better than the last one. I don't expect it to be, quite honestly, with all the stuff going on in the world. Um, I shared a radio program on my Facebook. The first song I shared from a guy named Dr. Demento. Well, that wasn't his actual name. It eludes me right this second, but he had a song, well, several songs, but one of the songs was Dead Puppies. And I was about 11 when I started listening to this guy. The radio show was out of Chicago, and my parents had no clue what I was listening to in my bedroom, with my little transistor or whatever I had. Maybe I had a plug-in radio back then. I or both, I'm not sure, but anyway, I was able to get a hold of this station that I probably wouldn't have let my kid listen to, but um he was, the people say that people are ahead of their time. I'm not sure that he was ahead of his time. I would say he was more right on time for, yeah, a lot of his stuff was like totally demented. On the other hand, a lot of the stuff that they were talking about and singing about were things that were going on in the world, like now, what was called conspiracies were actual facts of the agenda that they were trying to get through to the people, even back in them days. So I shared, well, I saw a meme that said, name one doctor or name a doctor that's worse than Dr. F, and some people put like Dr. Kevorkian and Dr. Feelgood, and I put Dr. Demento. So if you look into any of his work, yeah, he's demented, So if you are kind of squeamish about things, I wouldn't suggest listening to him. If you can take it as a joke, then it can be funny. Otherwise, it can be rather grotesque and disturbing. So, um, in my 11-year-old brain, that was some funny stuff. Now listening to it, it's still some funny stuff, but I shared the song and the lyrics of Dead Puppies and tribute to Dr. F for all the puppies that were murdered so people could feel safe through his experiments in labs that he paid for. So, yeah, we can't talk too much about those type of things, but everything I just said is a fact and it's not a medical opinion. It's just some funny coincidences. So, maybe maybe Dr. Demento met Dr. F back in the days. Never know. It's a small world in some respects. So, yeah. Not a lot going on today. I'm thinking about not really doing too much. So, yeah. Well, I got wood in and I fed my kitties and see what else. That's about it so far. So, yeah. Oh, and then on Facebook there was this guy. I passed around a meme about addicts that their families just want them to be okay and come home. And this guy starts up a conversation, um, like speaking from personal experience, that people can be addicted to all types of things. And I'm like, yeah. And he says a couple more bizarre things, and I'm like, interesting. And then he writes me in my private message something about, well, he told me some blonde joke, and I didn't even read it. It's like, okay, I've already had enough of you. And then sent me something in my private message, and it said something like his addiction was women or something. It's like, get out of here, you fucking freak. So anyway, and then he's a friend of a friend of mine, and she wrote, don't forget, sent a meme around. Don't forget to eat your black-eyed peas, and he wrote something to her like he would or something with love or something for her new year, and I'm like, um, where is the love? LOL, you know, because he like totally didn't even get it, you know. It's like anyway. So yeah, it's been a interesting morning so far, or day. It's after 2 in the afternoon, so yeah, going on evening time anyway. So God, people are weird and they're strange. And I had sent around on my Facebook, I think it was yesterday or whatever, that nobody touches me. Um, does that even indicate anything close to I'm looking for some sort of relationship with anybody? That kind of, I thought that sounded pretty clear. I didn't, you know, I didn't mince any words. I didn't lead anybody to believe anything different. It's like, it, are you really that dumb? I mean, these people. It makes me wonder. It's like, you can't be that stupid. Are you really? Really? Wow. Unbelievable. So I got off my Facebook, and I don't know, I might still have it turned on, but I started doing things around the house and just ignored it. It's like, oh, I almost blocked him, but I wanted to see what else. I want to see how far he's gonna try and go. It's like, maybe not. Maybe I'll just block him later, you know. And I wanted to see how my friend was handling him too. If she's a very close friend of his, I don't think she is. I think, like me, she was just being kind hearted and wanted friends. So, and she's a lot like me. She's has her own horses, and I don't anymore. But I mean, the type that lives out in the country and has. I mean, yesterday this guy was telling me he has 40 acres up in Canada with a private lake. Well, that's good for you. I was telling him, you know, something about the lake associations and when you live around lakes, what it's like, you know. Um, that I am looking for property on a more private in a more private area than that, or than what I'm in right now. And then he told me that, and it's like, it's the same one that he was saying something about him being the odd one out. Well, if all you're worried about is what's between your legs, you're not the odd one out. You're the norm, you know? No, you're not odd at all. The person telling you no is the odd one. Unless you hear that quite often. Maybe he's heard it all his life. Not sure if he's had children or not. Well, he didn't, but if he was with somebody that had children, you know. Here's another topic for the situation, too. We do not have children. The woman has children. So maybe some shouldn't. I don't know. That's another topic. Whether actually Is any of this real? And if you had children now, is God going to let you next time? You might want to wonder about that. I do. It's like, yeah, some people maybe think my mother shouldn't have made me. Well, maybe she shouldn't have. I know for a fact that the Mason that was my father shouldn't have been with a minor making a baby and drinking alcohol. So, and God knows what else they were doing. So, yeah, some people maybe shouldn't have been made, you know. Or some of you are glad that I was made. You know, I don't know how I feel today about that. I'm not sure. I'll let you know next time. Yeah. Weird, 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 weird. What do you do when you're in public and you run into something weird like that, you know? There was this one guy we knew, and Doug would buy wood from him. There's a lot of times that we processed our own wood, but when we were both working hard, and this little guy would come over and talk by my side of the door when we were in the car, and I'm like, Doug, open your window and start talking to him, because when he'd come over by my window and talk to me, he would spit on me when he was talking. It was really bad. So all I could think with that family was inbreeding. Some families, you just look at them and it's like, you and your cousin knew each other very well, didn't you? Yeah, for real. So, yeah, all jokes aside, don't people know if they're spitting on somebody? Wow, nowadays that little dude, I don't know if he's still alive, but he'd probably be in some trouble out in public. And then not only that, if he's like spitting inside of if he's covering his face and he'd be like choking in there, you know? Wow, yeah, disgusting. There's only one person in that whole family that turned out like half of a human being, and she ended up working for the state as a social worker. So I don't know how normal that is, but you know, at least she had an education. I actually went to college with her, so I knew she was getting an education, you know, but that's the only one out of that family that I know of. Well, the thing is, the mom had died when the kids were very, very little, and the dad raised. I think there was two daughters and one son out in country by themselves, and he was like not all there. I don't know for sure if he was like abusive, but I know like there's a lot of like sexual immorality going on in their lives and whatnot. And the one daughter that I was talking about really didn't have much to do with the father or the other daughter or son after she kind of got out of that situation. So I know a few people like that in the world, and that's cool. They get out of there and they're able to make a life for themselves, you know. So what's everybody's wishes for the new year besides all this baloney that isn't going to go away, that we hope would go away? You know, that's I'm sure most of our wishes. You know, aside from being that a lot of us are around some unstable minds for whatever reason, whether it's drugs or alcohol or just an abusive situation, even if it's just emotional. I know a lot of people that are suffering like that, and their abusers, they'll be good for a few days. then bam, it'll hit you. I never ever let my guard down no more. Like I say, it still makes my heart sink when I hear stupid stuff. But no, no, I don't. I'm not at ease ever. That would be a foolish mistake on my part, you know. So that's real. I don't know how some of you feel about like that, but if you're going along and you're just having a really wonderful day, and then all of a sudden you're not, you know. So I am grateful for grape. Yes, I am grateful for any happy moments through my day that I do get, but it really isn't very pleasant trying to make friends or talking to my friends on Facebook and then having some, I don't know what it is. You know, if he were lonely, that'd be one thing. And even if he had been with a lot of women in his life or that was his thing, well, keep it to yourself. I don't want to hear that. Especially, I just got through writing a message yesterday specifically for him that nobody touches me. Nobody. When I say hugs, I mean like I'll hug you. I'm not going to sit there and hold you and console you and let you cry. Get off me, you know. No, I'll hug somebody, but I'm not one of these touchy-feely type persons anyway because most people they're just and they wouldn't know what making love was if even if it was the only thing on the planet and the only example they could ever see and learn to express, they still couldn't grasp it, you know. So that's just my opinion of most people. I think they might start out thinking that true love and relationships are a real thing. Yeah, I think most of us start out thinking that, and we probably die wishing that it had been. But do you know anybody that it really is? I mean, you can love a person up to a certain extent, a certain point, but have you ever seen what you know is true love and you know that one of them isn't shady one bit, that they're both like totally stable and they're going to make it work? I have not seen it. I'm just saying. Could happen. Could be real. I don't think so. Not the way the world is. I mean, people can say whatever they want to say, you know, but, you know, and they usually do to get what they want, you know. That's their whole be careful what you wish for type of thing. I don't know. I mean, everybody has a certain amount of faults in their life that they'll work on and hopefully grow out of and um, mature. But some people aren't working towards those type of goals. And it seems that there aren't ever two people together working on them type of goals at the same time in a relationship. My observation, I've seen a few couples like fake it real well. Like here's a for instance, it's like Victoria and Kenneth Copeland. They look like they have the ideal marriage. I wouldn't want to sit in either one of their heads for more than a half a second. That'd probably be enough to give me the heebie jeebies, you know? So I look at him, I think, yeah, I know your secrets. People are all weird like that. And most of them really don't have God in their heart. And you just, even if you do, you're not that damn fake. You're not that stodgy and tight lipped, white laced, stuck up. That's just so unreal. It's like, yeah, I mean, I don't expect them to get out there and say, how the heck y'all doing today? Praise the Lord or nothing like that. But it's like, people were talking about, oh, country music is evil. Is I saw a meme that said that. I'm thinking, what? And I thought about like death metal and rap and all these other different kinds of music, and then somebody wrote, I only listen to gospel. I'm thinking, whatever. Fact of the matter is you could hear the grodiest song in the whole world and hear something in that that reminds you of God. So it doesn't matter. You know, if you have God in your heart, He's there. Doesn't matter what you listen to or look at or anything else. If you're not moved by the world's garbage, it doesn't affect you, you know? So it's like, well, why are you so worried? I mean, I don't like a lot of that music either. But, it's like, for real? I mean, there was like a lot of really, really good country songs, and still are quite a few that are quite beautiful. Like, what's that one? Love Without End, Amen. Well, I told you what amen means, but so maybe that's not the best example. But yeah, I think you get my meaning. Even and that wouldn't be considered a gospel song. That's just a country song, you know. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I thought about I'll probably, if my youngest son doesn't call me today, I'll probably call him tomorrow. I don't know what I'll call him, but I'm gonna call him. Yeah. Did I tell you my oldest one asked if he'd still asked his wife if she knew if he was still welcome here or not? And I had said, of course he is, but there's no drugs or alcohol allowed around me. So, I mean, some herb, maybe, you know, but nothing else, So it's like if he could live with that, I'd help him out because I don't want to see anybody going through hell, and I know he is right now. He's got a lot of accepting. I mean, when you had horrible things happen to you, you have to really you make a decision. Am I going to live with this, or am I going to die with this? Am I going to let it eat me up from the inside out and carry all that anger for the rest of my life, or am I going to learn to live with it and accept it? um you can't really accept somebody not loving you when you love them and they destroy your life, which he had happened. But you have to realize that you still love that person as a person, and for as much as you can, but it doesn't go further than that. You have to take yourself above that and keep going for yourself, or you might as well just roll over and play dead. You know, it's like decision time. You know, I don't know for sure. Um, I'm sure, having counseled people, I can say that I've heard a lot of sad stories in my life, and maybe none sadder than what my oldest son has gone through. But boy, if he could raise himself up, if I could help him, or somebody could, and he was able to talk to younger people in his life, he could help so many people just by telling his story. A lot of people would feel foolish at their sorrows. They'd be like, dude, whoa, you know, and then feel the shame of their stupidity of what they're going through. Um, and even the bad things I've been through doesn't really touch that. Similar, but not quite, it's like, no, just when you think you have a bad life, there's somebody that has it worse. But what do we do? If we could just find everybody that's like that, that's been hurt, and help them out of their slump, help them out of their depression. The biggest thing you can do for somebody that has troubles with depression, or if you have that yourself, don't let them stay in their slump, in that funk. Don't allow it. Because once they go down there one day, and then, yeah, they need to rest. If somebody's been through shocking, tumultuous times in their lives, they do need rest. They need good food, and they need medical observation. It could be as simple as like I say, rest and a bath and um, peace and quiet, or you know, or even watching like a comedy, something to uplift spirits. Now, I'm careful on that too, because a lot of the comedies that are out there, people have to be crude in order to be funny, is what they think. And that just isn't, um, I like more psychological comedy. Like back in the day, there was, George Burns and his wife, Gracie. Gracie Allen, I do believe was her name. She was so funny. I mean, little jokes like he'd say goodnight, Gracie, and she'd go goodnight, Gracie. Just silly little things like that, enough to give you a tiny chuckle. But they had like a comedy, I think half hour or hour show, and they would have sometimes two of them in a row, and I'd watch them, and she was always so funny like that, because she was the best at acting stupid, and she was so witty. It was so, if you get a chance to um, watch George Burns and Gracie, any of them shows, if you can find them, those are peaceful. They're black and white, but I think they might have been some in color, like early 70s or so. Not sure when they died. I mean, it's been at least 10, maybe 20 years ago. So, but these are back in the 50s and 60s, 70s. They were popular. So, well, I don't know too much today. I just had a very strange day and a strange encounter with, I mean, that guy's got to think to himself, he's hitting on grandmas. Doesn't he think that we've heard it all? You know, for real. He says he's out in the country because he doesn't like to be around people, or he'll go to town to people watch. It's like, I go to town when I have to go to town, if I have to or if I want to. And it isn't just to people watch, it's to actually interact with people. I like being around people. I just don't like the way most people are, you know, if you get what I'm saying. A crowd of Christians, really true, God loving and God fearing people would be a glorious day, wouldn't it? If everybody got together and we had like picnics and bonfires and we could be singing and sharing meals together and that type of thing, that would be a beautiful thing, you know. So, well, I'm going to let you go. I wanted to say Happy New Year. Let's try and make it the best it's ever been. But what we have to do is let these people with their freak show know that we're not going to go along with it. There's nothing they can say or do to make us change our minds. There's more of us than there are them, and I'm not, for one, ever backing down on it. And yes, I would get physical to protect myself, and I think a lot of people would. I don't know. I guess I'd have to see the day if or when that ever happened. I don't really fear that it would, but if it did, I may not fight. I'd be like, yeah, just kill me now. Get it over with. You know? I'm just sick of their shit. So, okay. Peace and love from Pine City, Mini, yeah, Minnesota, USA. I almost said Minneapolis. Wow. Yeah, I grew up there. So, peace, everybody. Have a good day.